Hi friends, we are back for part 2 in our books on how to learn Latin. Well, don't get me wrong friends, I'm not trying to be exhaustive. These are literally the books, the Latin language books that I have in my house that I'm going through. Some, again, were mine when I was in high school. Some were my son's from school. Some were his from college. Some I don't even know where they came from. I'll be honest. But we've picked these up along the years, so I thought because it's a low budget show, nobody sends. I have one book ever sent to me free, just sent to me free, not necessarily to review. But no publisher is sending me books. If they'd like to, you know where I am. Hit me up in the email. But until that day, we're just reviewing books that I have right now because books are expensive. So let's look at our next one. This is the second part in our Let's Look at Latin series. And I'm going to look at the Henle Latin. Now you'll see right away, I have right here what I was saying I wasn't sure about the other ones, and I don't have the answer keys for all the other books. But right here, I have the answer key for first year Henle Latin, very clearly marked. So what are the other books? There's a grammar book and a book that just says first year. So let's open up. I'm going to guess this one. And we're going to open this one up first, friends, and then get into it. If I can get my chair over here. Okay. So again, if this was my son's book, there's no writing inside, as well as if I crease these books, he will hunt me down, even though he doesn't want these books anymore. So yes, this book was by Robert Henle, Loyola Press. The original date is 1945, and then in 1958 was the last copyright. I don't know when this particular one was printed. It's not here. Let's jump into the preface just a tiny bit. This book of exercises and readings, here presented under the title First Year Latin, is part of a complete and integrated 4-year high school Latin course and is to be used in conjunction with a companion volume, Latin Grammar, of the same series. In addition, workbooks to accompany First Year Latin and Second Year Latin are available. I don't know that I have the workbooks. Oh no, friends. So I might have to go out and get it. If I decide on using this, I'm going to go back and grab it. I want to jump down here. A few points of variance with many Latin series now in use may be noted. The author does not accept the principle that mastery should be subordinated to the presentation, especially in the first year, of material interesting in itself and possessed of some utilitarian value. For a complete discussion of teaching for mastery, the instructor should refer to the manual for the Henle Latin series. Okay, so there's actually a teacher's manual as well. I wonder if that's in the answer key. We'll have to see. Such mastery implies habitual knowledge, lasting abilities, accuracy, sureness, and facility in youth. A lot of times it says they're going to set down a limited vocabulary for mastery, but to employ many more words in the reading material. This book is going to limit its vocabulary for use largely to its vocabulary for mastery, and this vocabulary, incidentally, is drawn largely from the Caesar readings that will be taken in the second year. So those are all good notes. I'm not going to read this entire bit here. Nope, not going to do it. But so this is a very specific method. It's going to give you a foundation this year on how to learn Latin, and the next year you're going to do more readings, and this vocabulary is going to prepare you to do that. So that's an interesting way. It's set up very clearly by declension. Let's see, Unit 2 are adjectives. 3 is conjunctions. These are set up very logically. So interesting, not every book sets it up quite like this. Unit 7, we don't do direct questions until Unit 7. Very, very interesting. Okay, now there's an introduction to the student. I'm going to go ahead and skip that. Let's look. To the right is a picture of a Roman soldier. He is stationed in Gaul. His commander-in-chief is Caesar. Caesar once praised him for his bravery in fighting against the Gaul. If you look over the sentences, you will notice that the italicized words all mean the Roman soldier, but are all spelled different ways, because in each sentence they have a different work to do, and the spelling is changed to show what work the words do. That is a beautiful explanation. Friends, here, can you see this? I'm looking down here. Can you see this? Look at this. We have footnotes. Amen. Footnotes. And these footnotes may help raise the interest of students as well. Gaul was an ancient Roman name for the part of Europe which includes France, Belgium, Switzerland, and Germany. That is going to help them make connections. This book I've never opened, obviously. I must have, but it's probably been a very long time, so I've forgotten. I really like how this is set up. They have things in capitals, in boxes to tell you that you're important, but also things are in capital letters and either bolded or not bolded in it. So that's, it's old-fashioned highlighting, right? And there's already an assignment. Memorize the declension of terra. And that, and it's referring you back over to the grammar books. Now we're going to go to grammar, and it says number 31. So let's see if we can figure this out. Is that page 31? No, I don't think so. Look, here's terra, 31. It's actually on page 5, but here it is. Awesome. So it's referring us over here to memorize that. Now we kind of understand how they're going to use that grammar book. Rules for gender. Awkward. How to diagram a Latin sentence. If you thought diagramming was dead, you'd be wrong. Even Latin still lives. Oh, look at this gorgeous picture. Nauti Mariam Laudant. Oh my goodness, friends. This is a beautiful book. As the light of the sun moves westward, it falls upon chapels and cathedrals, hospitals and camps, where in endless repetition the sacrifice of the Mass is being offered to God. At every moment, somewhere in the world, a priest stands at the foot of an altar and says in Latin, and I don't know how to pronounce that, In troibo ad altere Dei, I shall go to the altar of God. Unfortunately, they don't say that, all say that anymore, but maybe some of them still say it to themselves. The language of papal teachings, absolutely. They now do translate them, but things are lost in the translation. So being able to read Vatican documents straight in the original Latin was going to be huge. Okay, I am very intrigued by this book now. I see why Henle Latin is important, and you can see it's just going to refer you over to these numbers to learn different points. We saw that, still footnotes in this book. Let's look at the answer key then. Woo! Hardcore. They're just jamming it in there. Again, the print is a little bit on the small side. Is the print smaller than there? The print actually does look smaller than in the student book, which is going to crack me up. That does not make sense. And they're not really using the full page. I'm not sure why. They could have used that extra bit to make it a little bit larger. But I guess people had really awesome reading glasses back in the 40s. And it's just straight up answers. It's not the easiest to read. So friends, what I'm going to suggest you do, besides really good reading glasses, if you have a student checklist or something, you might want like a red ruler. Even a paint stick will work. A ruler that has that beveled edge is going to work really well, that you can slide this down line by line. Sometimes you can use a piece of the plastic like they used to use for overheads, but colored. So you want a colored sheet of plastic that you can see through, and you can slide that down. They found that people with different kinds of disabilities work well with different colors. I think dyslexic kids work really well with red, but I have found students who really enjoy blue. It just helps them focus and concentrate. So that's an option when you've got a book with really tiny print for something to do. I cannot tell you the brain reason that works. I do not know. Now, I actually found I have a whole set of these. These were the Cambridge Latin course I used in high school. We used them on fun days. On fun days, we would read things like Ferdinand Taurus, you know, when it was getting close to spring break, or a holiday and you just were a little distracted, or if you had a lot of testing, we would read a kid's book in Latin instead. And on days that were just like not quite right up to the holiday but getting close, or the end of a semester, we might open up our Cambridge Latin. And so this is one of the original books, and we're going to see how they were reproduced in the other ones. You can see very clearly they have that picture method, a picture with a small little bit of text, and the picture is going to be a clue as to what's going on. And these are the ones that I used. I really fell in love with this. The year one is all about Caecilius, and I'll get to that in a second. And you're drawn into the story. And then what? Here is a story without pictures. Look at that. And it's going to give you some words and phrases. So here's some vocabulary. And then it's towards the city. Here's another little continuing story. Some more words and phrases. Some words and phrases and little stories. You start out with the pictures. By the end of the book, you're not. And here's the end. More words and phrases, and then a little bit of history for you in English. This tells you about the destruction and evacuation of Pompeii. And now I will tell you, yes, Caecilius was a real person who lived in Pompeii. And so these books are roughly, very roughly, based on what could have been his life in Pompeii, and so you're drawn into the story of a real and actual person. Now for Unit 1, we'll go ahead and look. I have 3 books. I have a full-on teacher's manual. This is the North American 4th edition. It is going to make a difference. This is used in English, and I've learned as I've worked on projects, with my friends in the UK, like the John Bradburn Memorial Society, that they have some slang and terms that are just a little bit different than ours. So this is the North American edition. It's not going to have that issue at all. So let's go ahead and look at, of course, it's from Cambridge University Press. Aha, look, Stage 12 Vesuvius. Unit 1, Stage 12 Vesuvius. Okay, so it is probably going to be the same. Ooh, great color pictures. Has a dedication. So these are very similar. Caecilius es pater, Metella es mater. They start out very small, work our way up to a sentence with a picture. See how I was telling you it develops your skills, and then here's that vocabulary. Here's a small story again, little bit of vocabulary that goes with it. Now here's the difference. This has some extra exercises. I feel like that might have been in a different book that these went with that isn't there, right? Love it. Property of East Pennsboro School District. I'm guessing they got rid of them. If not, please don't come after me. I will find as many as I have and give them back to you. So here's about the language. Latin sentences containing the word est often have the same order as English. Metella est mater. Metella is the mother. So these are more like grammar things going in here. And practicing the language. Okay, this is using the vocabulary. I love these real color photographs. We all know they draw our attention. And then here is that little history lesson at the end to make connections, right? So friends, if your student really needs to make connections, this is a good option. I do love that it is a storybook form, but it also has the exercises. For the student, it looks like it's all in one book. Is it though? Because now there's this book. What is the workbook? Oh, these do have some ratings in them. It's not going to ruin it for you. So look, these are puzzles. How fun! I did not remember these. So these are kind of fun. It's more puzzles, or you could read them and then answer the questions. Matching. Fun, fun, fun. Ah, I shouldn't show you any more from there. Let me. Oh, this book is very used. I must have forced my son into writing in the book. There's even a crossword puzzle. We all know he doesn't like doing it. Oh, and then this is from 12. This is from the Vesuvius story. Can you translate them? And this time it gives you a word bank, but not what they mean. So you may want to take these and write what the English words are next to the Latin words and then do it. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at what the teacher's manual gives us then. Teacher's manual. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so there's a little bit of scope and sequence. Teachers really need that, so they can plan for the year and coordinate with other teachers. Like when we're studying, like perhaps your science teacher will teach about volcanoes when we're studying the volcanoes in this. You can coordinate with other teachers if you have that scope and sequence chart there. Maybe work something out with the art teacher where you do something in art as well. So you can coordinate when you have a scope and sequence. It's very important for teachers. And if you're doing a unit study, yeah, why not? Why study Latin? So introduction, this is just for the teacher. Audio materials. I did have audio materials at one point in time. I will tell you, if you want to have some fun, because the Cambridge Latin is used so much in England and it's modern times, there are all these great student videos out on YouTube where they act out some of the different stories. It's really fun to watch some of those. It makes for a really fun little vacation week or something to watch them. Stage commentaries. So there's going to be commentaries on each stage, language, and then, all kinds of diagnostic tests, oral comprehension passage. So lots of great appendixes. Let me see if you're seeing that. Oh, you're not quite seeing them all. Let me raise it up here. There are all the appendixes at the back. Is there anything more there? Nope, there's the preface. Scope and sequence. It's pretty self-explanatory. They're going to objectives. Using the student's text. Oh, there's some teaching strategies in here. Just flipping through course planning. So an introduction, like Ask the class to look at the picture on the title page. Explain this is a portrait of a real Roman Caecilius and what we know about him. So it really is giving you some great tips on how to teach this. If you're a new teacher, this book may be a better start for you. This is great. And I know at one point we had a little cassette tape that had all of everything pronounced. Everything was read out. So I could practice it ahead of time to get a little bit better. This looks like probably one of the, Appendix C. Look, this is giving us, like how, in our last one, let's see if I can get back to it. We had English words from Latin and Greek elements. Look, here is the Latin word. And then it's giving you English, French, and Spanish. How fun. So these appendices are going to be, appendices are going to be very helpful. Model sentences. There's the story written out. I really like this teacher's manual. Okay, we're going to peek inside Unit 2. I think that for some reason, I'm thinking that there's 4 units. I just could grab these ones here. So let's see what the stories are like. This one's in Britannia. Very interesting. Of course, the Roman Empire extended to Britain. This is a real photograph of ancient Britain here. I love this. Oh my goodness, friends. This is really fun. Look at these stories. But they're going to tell you there were slaves in ancient Rome, and they're kind of showing you what it was like. This is set up much the same. Okay, but it's set in life in Roman Britain is what it's about. Oh my goodness. This is kind of exciting. It's a great history book, so you could time this as well when you're studying Great Britain or world history. This could be really great. Okay, set up in a very similar way. The same for the workbook and the teacher's manual. Let's just see if these puzzles get a lot harder. Oh, they're adding game on. Celtic, Welsh, English, Latin. Game on here, friends. You can tell this is really a British program. Very nice. There's some more pictures to go with it. Questions. So not as many full-out puzzles as the last one, but there's still some different activities in here. Maybe not as fun. You can always go on and make your own crossword puzzles and stuff. Very interesting. This is really great. I really do enjoy these. So they all have their merits, friends. I hope you enjoyed this series on Latin. So what all did we review? In this video, we did Cambridge Latin, but we also had Lingua Latin. And if we went back to the first video, more Lingua Latin, we had a primer of ecclesiastical Latin, English words from Greek and Latin roots, Henle Latin, which really would go nicely with this one. I don't know which one you would start with. That's a great thought. If anybody knows, let me know. And then we had our friend Ferdinandus Taurus. I hope this is helpful. Please, 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 please. If you've got any questions, comments, suggestions, put them in the comments below so that we can all learn together. We all have so many questions about living out our faith, and it's by opening a dialogue and talking to each other that we really find out great tips for success and keeping us all on that path to heaven. That's the goal, isn't it, friends? For us all to get to heaven. So open up your arms, reach out to your fellow man and help lift us up. Put things in the comments, like, share, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. If you've got other topics as well or suggestions or a Latin book that you're done with but you think would really benefit others, hey, send it to me. God bless you, friends. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.